almost 40. That's a long time to be associated with any one program, with any one job, frankly. So hats off to you for your long career in college hockey.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what a dead-end job. Huh? I couldn't go anywhere. No, I've enjoyed my stay, obviously, and enjoy the kids and enjoy the process of coaching kids at this level.
Is that what has been most pleasurable to you, is just the opportunity to coach a young person probably at his last point of development before he goes on to play college hockey or pro hockey or sees his hockey career end?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know if it's just that. It's just when you're around kids this age, it keeps you young. You know, I always tell people that, you know, some of the best friends I have are my former players, you know. And we had kind of a little reunion the other night back in our game in Boston. I think we had over 100 players there that came back for it. It was pretty nice. 85 of them were on the ice, so it was a treat to see everybody. But that's what makes the job fun, is the relationship you have with the players that you're coaching, but more importantly, the relationship you have with the players after they leave.
Jack, what are your impressions of the changing landscape of college hockey that will go into effect here in the next year with conference shakeups and new affiliations, some rivalries lost? What's your basic opinion of that?
We kind of went through this before in the 80s when the ECAC was a 17-team league in the ECAC, and it got broken up, and the WCHA lost some teams to the Central League, and the WCHA and Hockey East both found themselves we had just started our league. The WCHA had less of a league because they didn't have as many bodies, and we wound up having an alliance with them through the 80s, in which we had interlocking schedules that really counted in both league standings, and it was terrific for our league because we were just starting out, you know, and the WCHA was established. But I think it was great for the WCHA too, because they needed to have other bodies to play besides they would have to play each other 5 or 6 times a year, you know. So, and I don't think it ruined the other rivalries either. That there was still, you know, we still played Harvard, we still played Vermont, even though they weren't in our league anymore. And I think the same thing will happen this time around. I think the teams that are leaving, that are splitting up and going to different leagues, but have had great rivalries with each other, will still find a way to play each other. And I think that'll be how it works out. But I think the greatest thing, as far as I'm concerned, is there's going to be a lot more interleague play.
A lot more series like this weekend series.
Absolutely. And next year, I think we play North Dakota. I know we played North Dakota twice. We play Wisconsin. We play Michigan State. We play Michigan. We play Harvard. We play Cornell. So we get a chance to play a lot of brand name college hockey teams that ordinarily we wouldn't when we had just our own league. We had more league games before we added Notre Dame. Now we'll have less league games, which gives us an opportunity to play a lot. And it would not be possible if it wasn't for the fact that the 2 other new leagues need games too. So I think it'll work out for everybody that way.
So that's the upside, is that hockey fans across the country are going to see BU North Dakota, Michigan North Dakota, BU Wisconsin. Is there any downside to it as you see it?
Well, I think I think the North Dakotas will have to find a way to play Minnesota. You know, they'll have to find a way to play Wisconsin to keep those rivalries going, even though they won't be in the same league anymore. But other than that, I don't think there is any. The only other downside is that the lesser brand name teams might have a harder time competing and/or getting games, because they're going to automatically the CCHA teams that are not going into the 2 new leagues will be coming back to the WCHA, but they'll have a lot more travel involved, so it's going to be more expensive for them that way. And you know, all the schools are looking for more games now, and who's going to play whom is going to be a big question. You know?
Obviously, you'll be playing the most difficult non-conference schedule next year, probably that you've ever played in your 40 years.
I don't know about that. It'll be a very difficult schedule. Yeah, there's no question about that. But you know, there's a balance there. You know, should we play, you know, the perennial national power, or should we play the team that's you know, just coming around and starting to get pretty good? You know, and sometimes your team doesn't get ready for that team, whereas you really get ready for the big name team.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine balance on how to set your schedule up, and our philosophy has always been let's play the best we can play for us, for our own growth, but also for our fans. You know, they want to see. They want to see.
Jack, when you coach as long as you have, do you reassess whether you want to coach on a yearly basis, or how does that happen, and when does that happen?
I think I assess it all the time. Halfway through the season, I'm telling you, how long do I want to do this? but certainly on a yearly basis, you know, I have a contract that's fairly long, you know, so, but it's always been see how I feel health-wise, see how I feel at the end of the year, see if I have the same enthusiasm, see if most of all, see if I enjoy it as much, you know. You have to enjoy, first of all, you have to really enjoy the people you work with, like your assistant coaches and the ADs and the people in your department and all that stuff, and that's been great at BU. But you also have to enjoy the process of the type of kids you coach and, you know, where you're going with it, where you're going with it. And that's the thing you have to constantly look at is this. It's nice to have fun while you're on your job, you know, and it's one of the things we like to do, make sure that we're enjoying the process.
Very good. Good chatting with you, Jack.
Nice to talk to you.
Fans are happy to see your team out here and look forward to the return engagement in Boston next year and future head-to-head meetings between not only BU and North Dakota, but other teams from the Hockey East and North Dakota as well.
I'm sure that everybody will be looking to get on the bandwagon too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Thanks, Jack. We'll be back.